Hey there, real quick, just want to let you know about some exciting news. So 2 short weeks, we're going to be starting our New Year's challenge, which is going to be absolutely incredible to start your year off strong. I know you have tons of goals you're going to be setting and you want to feel absolutely incredible. So now is going to be an amazing time to reach out for that. So basically, there's going to be daily challenges, weekly challenges, a guaranteed prize upon completion, as well as thousands of dollars of prizes with guaranteed results. So to get early access pricing, just message us with the keyword New Year's Challenge to Instagram at ColossusFit, ColossusUSFit. Now into the episode.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Fit, Healthy, and most of all, Happy podcast. I'm your coach and host, Josh, here with
his co-host and co-coach, KG, and I'm in the house. And so right now, I know a lot of people are starting to think about 2026. I know there's still quite a bit of time to 2025, but we want to set you up for success. You know, if you're listening to this episode, you're an action taker, you're someone who just wants the absolute best for yourself, and I have so much respect for you. So today we're going to be talking about 10 lifestyle challenges to make you the fittest, healthiest, and happiest version of yourself into 2026. Now, the first thing I want to start talking about is actually letting go of one bad habit or one thing that's holding you back. Now, I'm a big believer in adding in amazing habits, and I think it absolutely is incredible. But oftentimes, if there's something that's holding us back, it can make it hard to become the best version of ourselves, right? And let's say there's something such as fast food. You're constantly ordering in, you're constantly going through drive-thrus. Like that alone could just hold you back from seeing change if you're constantly going overboard on calories. Let's say you're always on social media and you're consistently scrolling and you never actually have time to learn because you have 3 hours of scroll time in Netflix and then 0 times of just actual learning and education. So I really want you to sit down with yourself, and one of the best practices, and something I actually do more often, I try to do it at least once a month, is just list a couple different things that you genuinely feel like are holding you back. This could be the social media apps, this could be the ordering apps, this could be a Netflix subscription, like whatever it is. I'm not going to try to pinpoint and kind of call different things out, but I can promise you there will probably be at least 3 to 5 different things that you want to get better at and you should start to improve on. And I would just say pick one thing that you want to do and you want to get rid of and start to implement that right now going into 2026.
Yeah, and on the flip side, obviously with resolutions, it's so good to focus on removing, but you can also solve sometimes with addition. You can add one positive thing each and every day that you know is going to stack up with some compounding to lead to you having a great year. So an example of this could be getting out on a walk every single day, starting a meditation practice, starting a journaling practice, doing additional abs or cardio or stretching before night. Anything like that where you can say, no matter what, I'm going to stick to this, I'm going to implement it. And even something as small as a 10-minute daily walk, if you do that day after day after day after day, that's where the real results can come. Obviously, doing one 10-minute walk isn't going to change the world, but that is so much better, especially if you've done nothing. And just imagine after doing that for a year, the benefits that will come from that. So start to ask yourself, what's one thing I can add that's going to be positive and help build me up?
And next up, I really want to encourage you to create a system where you actually review your goals. So even recently, I want to make a reels on this, but it's been said that about 91% of people fail on their fitness resolutions, and then 80% end up failing after February. I just thought it was pretty crazy because like a lot of people have such great intentions to hit big goals, and especially as we go into resolution season, but it just really kills me that like we all spend so much time putting together these goals and these resolutions, and then we never end up actually fulfilling them. We never end up seeing change. And I would say like there's a lot of reasons for these issues, but I would say one of the biggest things is just we forget about it. Like the truth is you're really excited. You have this amazing goal, like all this ambition. You're sitting by the fire, you're cozy. You're like, I'm going to do this, 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 this. And like, those are great. And I really believe you can fulfill them and you can do them, but then you forget about it. Like January 15th comes and you're like, what did I say I was going to do again? So just sit down with yourself, ask, how can I make this a practice where I consistently see what I'm striving for? And even Grant Cardone, he's an individual who wrote a lot of great books, 10X Rule, like all this stuff. And he was saying that like it's been proven that if you were to write down your goals daily, you're more likely to achieve them. So a couple different notes. I know Josh is really good at this. He actually has them like when he sits down at his desk, they're there, like, hanging up right there. That's awesome because every day you sit down at your desk, you're going to see that. We have different things within our business and our company where we reflect them weekly, we reflect them monthly. And I just really encourage you, like when you sit down and do it, like ask yourself, how am I going to remember to do this? And how am I going to be consistent with it? You can just set a reminder, like Monday hits, Sunday hits, and you have a reminder on your phone that says review goals. Honestly, past that, one of the best things is when you journal as you create that habit. Josh talked about in number 2, try a journaling practice. Just every day, write down your 3 to 5 goals, do it every single day. And once again, that takes you probably 2 to 3 minutes, and you'll start to remember, and you'll actually be able to review it and implement it to make sure that you're not that person that by the end of the year comes and you're like, I haven't reached my goals because I forgot about them.
Next up, I'm challenge you to get into investing, and not in the way you may think, but to actually make an investment into yourself, to spend some money on your own development. And you might say, okay, well, I don't got a ton of extra money. I don't know about this. I don't want to spend money on that. But I assure you, it seems like the last thing we want to spend money on. But I challenge you to forego like one night of drinking at the bar or ordering food or something like that to buy a great book that interests you, to spend money on book. I have a rule that I'll spend infinite money on books and audiobooks because I know I'm going to get that back in knowledge and development. Other examples could be courses, a coach, and obviously you want to make sure you're spending with the right people. Don't just go throwing your money at a wall. I think the best ROI you can get is on a book. If you can find a book that means something to you. Some of our favorites like Atomic Habits is a great place to start. We have so many good books. We've done a whole post on it before. I don't want to just start throwing things off without really thinking it through. But if you haven't ever read a book, I have no affiliation, but Atomic Habits is a great place to start, especially if habit creation and power of that is an interest of you. I would definitely recommend that. But you'll spend 10, 20 bucks, whatever it is there, and I assure you, you're going to notice leaps and benefits in your life. Alongside that as well, it's absolutely awesome just seeing with our coaching how we've helped over 5,000 people transform. We're so incredibly proud of that. The people that have come in, the results they've seen, and even just the messages I get years later from previous clients saying, thank you. Like, you teaching me this has showed me how to not only see change when I work with you, but it's allowed me to continue to stay fit and hit new goals and reach new highs. And I've had clients I've worked with for over 5 years. Like, it's absolutely awesome. Like, that investment does go so far because you'll learn what you're doing wrong as well as what you need to do right. So that's my challenge for you, is to see yourself as an investment, because you're the best investment you can ever make. So start by taking a small step there.
I know so many people that are scared to invest in themselves. They'll be so quick just to like raise their hand to spend it on anything else. But when it comes to just bettering themselves, they hesitate. And those are the people that truthfully aren't improving. They're not seeing change. They're not feeling better. So they always say evolve or die. And this year you're going to evolve. You're going to become the best version of yourself. By the end of the year, you're going to have so many great new habits and hobbies and just like all this new mindset. And we're excited to see you through this entire 2026 and help you get there. And by the way, invest your time into the Fit, Healthy, and Happy podcast. Every single week, we will show up no matter what day, whether it's Christmas, New Year's, whether something's going on, we will be there for you every single week, 2 times per week, no matter what. If you head to our Instagram at ColossusFit, ColossusFit, we'll likely be posting every day. The stories will be there every day. We'll be sharing tips, tricks, motivation. So that alone is going to be the greatest investment. Just continuously check out our stuff. We will be there for you every single step of the way. And if you do want to join us for coaching, we'll share more briefly in just a second. But that's going to bring me into number 5, which is just building a team. Like, the most elite athletes, their team is massive. Like, you don't realize it, but they have so many people helping them out. Some people are like, well, I'm not an athlete. I don't need anyone. I can do it all by myself. But treat yourself like an athlete. Like, you will see such better results having people by your side on your team. And what I mean by this is, you could have a workout partner. You could have, let's just say you have a massage therapist that you say, hey, I'm going to go see X amount of times. Like, that person's on your team. Our partners, they're going to need to be on our team. They're going to need to support you, right? I know some people don't see change because the second they go to the gym, their partner's not on their team. They're not on their side. They're trying to bring them down. So you have to have that discussion. And even one thing I will say is there's going to be people who say, hey, all right, I've got my team figured out, or I don't know where to look. There's a lot of great resources. Josh was talking about books, but like, there's guys on YouTube. If you search up Greg Plitt, Eric Thomas, they will be on your team. If you need some motivation and you're struggling to get out of bed and just commit to your journey, and you listen to Greg Plitt for an hour in the morning, he's going to be on your team. So utilize these resources on top of the Fit, Healthy, and Happy podcast, and just think like, how can I have these people that I rely on that's going to help me out, that when times are tough, and obviously, as Josh mentioned, having a coach, like this alone will make such a big difference. And honestly, like I can't stress it enough, because we will be there for you every single step of the way, no matter what obstacle, no matter what goes on. And we're actually going to be giving away early access pricing for our New Year's challenge, as I mentioned. So don't forget to message us New Year's challenge to Instagram at ColossusFit, ColossusFit, because we will be there for you every single step of the way.
Next up is to challenge yourself to take sleep serious. So your routine, your space. If you just put effort into your sleep, I assure you can improve it. I know a lot of people feel helpless and like there's no solution, but it's something you really ought to take the wheel on and really take seriously. We've done in-depth episodes on this before that I'd highly recommend listening to, but blackout curtains, a cold space, maybe a new mattress, new pillows, nice blankets, all these things are such a great return on investment, especially when you consider it's like a third of your life essentially you're spending in your bed. So it's definitely worth optimizing for, making that space the best it can be, even with how cold it gets here in the winter and how dry it can get. I actually invested in a humidifier, and I've noticed what a difference that's made too, because I used to wake up with like kind of my throat being a little sore just from how dry the air was, and I sleep with a fan, so that definitely doesn't help. But small little things like that, like it's amazing the return on investment you can see, and especially when you're getting a good sleep and you're getting good rest, that gives you more energy and excitement to operate and succeed throughout the day. And once again, if your space is great, but maybe your habits aren't the best, spend some time optimizing that. Analyze your caffeine, your alcohol intake, when you're drinking and eating before bed. Like, do you have sleep debt? Are you waking up at the same time? Like, these are all important things to analyze. And by taking this seriously, you're going to notice a big uptick in your recovery as well as your energy.
I really like that Josh mentioned to take it seriously, because I feel like obviously there's a lot of great things you can do, but like just go to bed at the proper time. Try to stay up, not scrolling, not checking your phone. Like there's so many great things you can do. And I find when I talk to a lot of people who are like constantly tired, who have low energy, who aren't seeing results in the gym, like a lot of it comes down to their overall nighttime routine and just not feeling their best. And what they don't realize is they end up making worse food decisions. They skip the gym. They do all these bad things just because of poor quality sleep and not taking it seriously. But next up, I've got to talk about the challenge. So you need to join some sort of challenge. Now, I am such a big fan of challenge. I really believe in it. I feel like it makes everybody better. I've done so many different ones. I've challenged a lot of different friends. I've done bench press challenges. I've done weight loss challenges. I've done so much. And every single time I became the best version of myself. Even when I lost, I was sharing it with someone recently. I'm like, hey, I lost a bench press one, but I gained 35 pounds to my bench. I'm like, that's an awesome win. I did a challenge with a friend. It was a weight loss one. We both ended up winning because, that was kind of how it worked. We both lost a certain amount of weight. We both won. That's awesome. But obviously, it's hard to find these challenges. Not all of your friends are competitive. Not as many people are competitive, and you have to be obviously kind of looking for them, right? But our challenge is a great place to start. And like, we have done so many of them. So to give you guys some backstory, we have done a lot over the last 5 years. Even when COVID hit, one of our biggest pivots within our business and to just help more people was like, hey, let's do a challenge. Let's do different tiers. Let's get more people on board. And we were like, we're onto something here, because so many people are building great habits and they're like, they're locking in, they're getting incredible results. So we're like, you know what? About 4 times a year, we will do a challenge. We'll do a New Year's one, we'll do a fall one. And honestly, there's no better place to start, because all it takes is 30 great days of momentum for you to build habits into the rest of the year. And if you were to just fully lock in, you do January 1st to the end of January, and you start to drink more water, you start to hit the gym, you hit your protein, like we have all this criteria laid out, you will be a completely different person. And then February, you continue that momentum. So this is going to be something you do not want to miss out on. All you have to do is message us New Year's challenge to get the early bird pricing, to commit to yourself to say, hey, my goals, I'm serious about them. Like if you show up January 1st and you wake up and you say, hey, I'm going to commit to something, that's not exactly how it's going to work. Whereas if you say, hey, right now I'm going to commit to a challenge, that is going to be the way that you're actually going to see long-term success going into 2026. So message us, and we can't wait to hear from some of you and help you get guaranteed results.
Next up is to try to substitute one meal that is less healthy in your day, whether it's a dinner or a breakfast, and try to bring up the quality of it. So if you find every morning you're not having the greatest breakfast or the best amount of protein, here's an opportunity to improve that. And if you're like, my meals are all pretty solid, it's the snacking that gets me, even a good challenge is if you find you're in person who always likes an afternoon snack, try to sub that to a protein or veggie based snack or fruit, one of the or the other or all of the above. For me, this has usually been my go-to lately. I'll have a bunch of veggies with some protein or some fruit, and I find it sates me super good. And just adding in that extra little bit of consistent healthy meal in your day just makes your nutritional diet plan as a whole that much easier to follow. And this has been a big game change for me and a great change to make into 2026.
Yeah, next up, I want to challenge you to get out of your comfort zone. So this is something I've done over the last few years. It's just like expanding, just trying something new. And there's so many things like you guys have heard, like I didn't grow up doing a whole lot aside from like my whole hockey and then running and stuff like that. So over the last few years, I've really tried hard to develop new habits. And now like this year, it's so cool to know because I tried snowboarding a couple years ago, like I'm so excited to get out on the hill and the slopes and all that other stuff. And, you know, we have a lot of fun stuff planned, but like there were so many things that I've tried that I'm like, it was uncomfortable, right? And like for you, it could be that one person that you need to reach out to. Maybe you want to strengthen a relationship, so you want to reach out to this one person. That's out of your comfort zone. You could try cold showers. If that's something that you've never done and you're like, I want to try it, go do it. Like rock climbing is another one. I know we keep using that as an example, but there's just so many cool, unique things out there that a lot of people are afraid to try, especially if you're afraid to fail. It's not exactly fun. So I just wanted to share that. I personally believe it's so incredible for you. And like what people don't realize is when you do something that's hard or when you do something that's out of your comfort zone, it does more for you than that one individual thing. Like every part of your area will improve because the next time you have something you want to tackle, the next time you have something uncomfortable, you're like, let's do it, right? You just have to start with that one thing that's uncomfortable, that's hard for you, that's unique, that you don't want to do, or you have always wanted to do, but you haven't done. That's going to be one of the biggest things. And I feel like you'll greatly, greatly benefit from it. And last but not least, I want to encourage you to plan something that you look forward to. So I am such a fan of just having excitement in our life, especially with the day-to-day. Sometimes it can get challenging, obviously with work. And then like, you know, sometimes there's just like, oh my gosh, I'm focused on the grind in front of me. And I really feel like it's motivating having future things that you're excited about. Now, where I think some people go wrong is that they only set social excitement things, right? It's only things like, oh, a trip. So what I want to challenge you with this year is have two things that you sit down and you actually think about that you're looking forward to. Now, the first thing is going to be fitness related. I want you to sit down and plan something that you are going to conquer this year, that you're looking forward to, that's going to challenge you. And I'll give you some different examples. Obviously, if you're doing this challenge, awesome. That alone you can check off the box because you'll become the best version of yourself. For some people, it could be a DEXA scan. You know, 6 months from now, in the middle of the summer, I'm going to do a DEXA scan. I'm going to be the best version of myself. That's awesome because everything you do for the next 6 months is going to shape who you'll be on that specific day to see how much muscle you have, to see how your body fat is distributed, all that great stuff. For others, it could be a photo shoot. Let's say 4 months from now, I'm going to do a photo shoot. I've got a friend from high school I know. I'm going to get them to take photos. I'm going to get ready for that. Have something you're excited for, even for the gym. It could be hitting personal records. You know, 3 months from now, I'm going to do a 90-day block and I'm going to try to hit a personal record on the bench press, the squat, the deadlift. These are things that are going to force you to show up when it gets tough. So have something to look forward to fitness-wise and then also trip-wise, right? Like we all know that it's exciting. If it's cold, it's tough, like things are getting hard in life and whatever, and you're like, oh, I've got this, you know, thing that I'm looking forward to a month from now, a week from now, whatever it is. It could be a weekend away. It could be, one small day away. It could be a day at the spa. Or it could be a bigger trip, whatever it is. It's nice to just sit down, have things tentatively planned out. It's always good to be ahead of schedule as well. And I really encourage you to do that. So thank you so much for spending time with us today. Once again, do not miss out on this New Year's challenge. We are so excited about it. We started ordering the shirts. We started getting everything planned out, picking all the prizes, and we only will have so much availability for this because New Year's, obviously, once it comes, there is a lot of demand. There's a lot of people who have the resolutions. And once again, we like to reward action takers, especially if you're willing to jump in and start early. We want to get you the best results and the best deal possible. So message us New Year's Challenge to Instagram and hopefully you enjoyed this episode. Peace out.